Hello guys, this is Maplyph once again, and today we'll look at a border. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. It's actually the border between the US and Canada, which is one of the longest borders on the earth, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we won't start here with the continental US, as some might say. Of course, we'll start in Alaska because that's where the whole fun begins. So we'll just dive in and take a look. So, yeah, you can see it's actually pretty long here. And there's not so much here, too. As you can see, they didn't really bother to make a border fence or whatever because this is just empty terrain. Like it's freezing out here. It's freezing, and it's probably not so cool to cross here. Also, there's not really a need for like smuggling or whatever here. Ah, Rampart House. Is there actually a house? I don't see one. So who knows? But you can actually see that there's quite a nice scenery. It's really empty, but still, it looks cool. Here's a village, Eagle Village. Oh, okay. Is it? Do Native Americans live here? The population was at 76 at 2010, so maybe it's empty now. Who knows? Eagle Airport. They even had an airport here, or have one. That's cool. Eagle Village Council. Tribal headquarters. Wow, that's cool. And like this tribe lives here and here and here. You can actually see this place here is called Boundary. So they acknowledge that there's a border, and you can also see it here from Google Maps. They just took different pictures from the US and Canada. So cool, Eagle Village. One more destination I could go to on vacation if I was a millionaire. Or just pretty adventurous, but I prefer to look on maps. Little Gold. Little Gold. Ah, so this is actually a border crossing. They've got a border crossing here, Yukon. Wow. And an Alaska welcome sign. So if you ever cross here from Canada, you'll get a welcome sign. And you can see that it's actually connecting quite a few villages here. 60 mile. Is it 60 miles from the border, or no, it's 10 kilometers. So forget about that. Cool. Alaska welcome sign, pretty cool sightseeing place, and we've already crossed almost half the border of Alaska, so you can see there's really not much going on here. And I love that they just drew a straight line. I mean, they could have gone by that river, but seriously, it's not so important, and also probably makes much more sense if the river ever flows differently. Oh, and this island is the US. And here you can actually see it. You can see the border from space because they cut those trees down. Here too. So they're serious about it. I've heard about that there is like a, yeah, like at the border everything's cut down here too, so you can see every move. So apparently they seem to take it strictly. Even if I can't believe that anyone would ever want to cross into this wilderness. You don't need to forget that it's pretty cold here. Here again, US Customs and Border Protections, Alcon point of entry. Great. And another welcome to Alaska sign. I wanna have a look at that. Wow. So here it's probably, wow, it's beautiful. It actually doesn't look that cold. So, yeah, who knows? Yukon. It's the Alaskan flag. I like the Alaskan flag. Looks a little bit like the EU, but much more creative. It already tells you that you can see many stars here. And it's just an empty no man's land, like so many borders. Here the river flows actually through. Beaver Creek. That's such a cliche name for a river in this kind of environment. Again, crossing some Beaver Mountain. It's the mountain of the beavers. Wow, they have their own kingdom. And a canyon mountain. That's the kingdom of the canyons. Great. Wow, what's that? A glacier? Now we're getting to real mountainous territory. And I think they didn't bother to draw that line here. Like they didn't bother to cut down any trees because there aren't any. Wow, here you can see there are so many high mountains. Windy Peak, Mount St. Elias, 18,000 feet. It's pretty high, I guess. Would be nice if they would use the metric system, but hey, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, man. Yeah, there's so many mountains. I need to see that for myself. So I don't know why they drew the border this way. Wow, oh my god. You don't want to be teleported here. It's crazy. And also, let's much better. Yes, no sidebar. Yeah, that's okay. So you don't really want to smuggle here or use that route to cross borders, because this is just, you have to be a freaking buzzard or an eagle to just fly over it. If you're a human, I'm sorry. This won't really work. And what is this? This is probably a reflection of the sun or something. So this is much better for looking at the border. Pleasant Camp. Oh, maybe you can have a pleasant camping trip there. Doesn't look so pleasant though. Wow, it's such a long border. You always forget about it, but probably because there's nothing here. There's actually nothing here. Even if you look, wow, it's just mountains, mountains, mountains. Well, the Americans were pretty smart when they bought Alaska from Russia, I guess. $7 million is quite a bargain. Here's a town, Stewart, in Canada. Oh, it's nice. Maybe spend the summer here at the Stewart Museum, Stewart Historical Society. And here you can actually see the border again. Yeah. There is also a little harbor. Nice. And the Canadian Border Agency. Well, we like that, don't we? Canadian border. Eagle Point. Hyder Seaplane Base. Wow, it's like if you're a movie villain, it's pretty cool to live here. And here the border just follows the river, just straight there. Nice. Wales Island. And yeah, you can see that was the border with Alaska. This island is Canadian, or unavailable actually. Yeah, and here we have Kaduguka place on the Cottonwoods, but it's temporarily closed. I'm sorry. Whatever it is. Okay, this was the part of the Alaskan border. Now we skip right through. Yeah. Actually, if I make this video about the US and Canadian border, that's kind of the same like the Canadian border at all. But there is one place where Canada borders at a European country. But I won't tell you yet. You can Google it yourself. Or I'll show you. Just like, wanna. Okay, so we'll go on here. That looks still looks like Alaska for me. But here you have the city of Victoria. Wow, it's just in the river here. It's great. And there's so many islands. I wonder if people live here. Stewart Island treasure chest. Oh wow, cute kitty. Ah, okay, it's a clothing store. I thought maybe you could find real treasures, except for the kitties. They are treasures, of course. And we'll go on. This is like a zigzag. What's that? Oh, and this is actually, I've seen a lot of videos about that. Point Roberts. That's a practical exclave of the US because you can't cross from anywhere. You need to go over Canada, like this road here. You have to cross a border if you want to go back to your home country. If you live here, you either have a boat and, I don't know, drive to Birch Bay, or you get your car and you have to cross through Canada. So better don't get in trouble with the Canadians if you live in Point Roberts. That's cool. Probably, yeah, I wonder how that came. They just wanted to draw a straight line, and people here, yeah, they were unlucky or lucky. I mean, it's cool to live here. I love exclaves, and this is a practical exclave. So let's continue. Douglas and Blaine is very divided, and here you can see the border zone. It's that was my phone. There it goes. Gotta get a new one. But yeah, you can see it's all fields. It's just fields and some nice woods and some toxic waste or whatever that is. And in Canada, there's a road which goes along the border. Well, I've seen one video about a street which is like half the part is at the US, half the part of the road is Canadian. I wonder if that's the road actually, but then the border would be incorrect here. And here we have a border. Again, a border post. Well, obviously it's all a border, but and fields and fields and fields and fields. So if you like fields, come to Zero Avenue. Yeah, and just take a look at all those fields. And the sea border also. That's cool. I wonder if it's protected. Probably. Yeah, and another border city, Huntington. And you see life flourishes here. You're in the one of the southernmost points in Canada, in the Abbotsford, while here in America you just are somewhere, nowhere. Hey Arnold! Hey Arnold! Here's Arnold! And it goes on. And it goes on. What is this? Like, is this a part of the border installment? I don't think so, but it could be. Botanical specialties. If you're ever here, get some lavender. It calms you down. And wow, that's a shadow, isn't it? Looks like a lake or... Where are we? Oh, we got a long way to go, so maybe hurry. Well, we're not in a hurry. Just relax. I mean... But we don't have to look at every tree here. Mountains, mountains. Oh, cool. That's a... Is that a real lake? I don't think so. Yeah, the many Native Americans here living here at the border. Middle Glen Lake. This looks... Wow, this looks beautiful. This looks like from Red Dead Redemption. And they were probably inspired by the real world, so... Beautiful. Ross Lake International Point. Yeah, that's a pretty international point. Wait, what? What is that? Can you... Is he standing on an island? Oh, maybe on this one. This would be crazy. You would be pretty close to the border. But you're not allowed to cross. Or else you get deported. Also this looks nice. Yeah, I like the nature here. Who knew that they would have such a beautiful nature and scenery all over the border? Sheep number 3. Sheep and 3. Mountain Peak. Oh yeah, it's time to look at the terrain. Would have been interesting in Alaska, but whatever. Oh, and here, what is this? Looks like an irregularity. Maybe they have different maps here. Is that 7,000? Ah, 7,000 feet. Oh my god, we're in feet country. Right. Forgot about that. Then, I don't care. I don't care. I know that planes fly, that you allowed to unstrap your seatbelt in a plane at like 30,000 feet or something. And that's all I need to know. It's probably like 3,000 meters. I don't know. I really don't know. Again, a custom service in the middle of nowhere. Sucks to work here. But you have nice nature, I guess. It's time for a little lookout at the border. No, is this the border? Probably. Yeah, they need those because so many people smuggle medical stuff over the border. I've seen that on The Simpsons. Also, I've seen on The Simpsons that there's a Ned Flanders clone living in Canada who smokes weed, which I think is pretty amazing. Yeah, they really... And you can see here is the border too, even without trees. Maybe it's a fence or something. I don't know. And yeah, you have many sea borders. Like it's just between the lake and what is this? A border post? I don't know. It's no man's land again. Really, nobody lives near here except the guys in Midway and West Midway, and a Canadian border. Yeah, it's closed right now, so you can't go through. Wait, the border is closed, so that means you can't cross? What if I want to go to the US and eat some Hooters at 1 a.m. in the night or something? Wow. It's just so empty here. And oh god, I gotta be faster. Or else we'll be stuck here tomorrow. Well, let's leave Washington State. Let's instead go to Idaho. And there's not really much to see here at the border, except for this weird thing. Whatever that is. It tried to follow a river. Or the river was built along the border, which makes more sense. The channel. And Rickards. And yeah, that's Idaho. That's the Idaho thing. Eastport, Kingsgate, yeah, everyone knows them. And, well, they're really stubborn to cutting down those trees. They really went all in on that. Yeah, now we'll cross in one of my... Is it actually? Oh, no, we're crossing in Montana. Montana, for me, I know it because of Hannah Montana, of course. Yeah. What else is there? Cowboys, plain terrain, a border between the US and Canada. It all looks the same. I mean, I heard it's pretty geographical diverse. Where was a landslide here? That it's pretty diverse, the border. And I can say yeah, probably, but here it's just... Well, there are many mountains, Mount Hefty for example, but there's not so much going on here. No border post here. What did they think? Does all the smugglers will go across that path, man? Let's have terrain look. It's so weird. They did like... In Europe you won't find that. In Europe all the maps go smooth. Long Knife Peak. Yeah, you better bring a long knife here and... We'll cross the mountains again. Wow, they look beautiful. Can you have a look somewhere here? OMG. This is absolutely stunning. No, really. It's a beautiful nature. Well, if you break your knee or whatever, you have a big problem here. Obviously, but it's cool. And here? Wait, so And this is the Canada, and this is the US. Wow. Well, you can see it actually here. Where the trees are missing, it's probably Canada. Maybe. Wow, and so much empty land. West Buddy. Yeah, it's just. Oh, we're already in North Dakota. No. No. But you know, all the places here pretty much look the same, so we can skip that. Fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, many fields. And every field has its own water lake? Is it a golf course or... Okay. This house is run by the US and Canada. You can really see it here. Wow. So many lakes. It looks like a huge nitrogen bomb or whatever exploded here and put all those craters here, but it's probably just a tundra. Grasslands National Park. Wow. They really were creative with that one. It's a grassland, I know. Lonesome Butte. Wow. I really get tired if I look at this map. It's a really nice thing to do if you can't sleep. Just look at this map. And it's an endless combination of pixels, almost seems. Well, at least we finally visit North Dakota, and I really like North Dakota because it's not very populous and there's not much going on here. Yeah, I think like 700,000 people live in North Dakota, and it's the same size almost as, or the same size as, for example, Czechia or Poland maybe. And it's just so little people here. Oh, that's fun. Not a straight line here, the street. Wow. It's really one of the most exciting things in a long time here. North Gate border crossing. Yeah, we just went here to the border and they didn't let us through with all this medical supplies here. They went crazy about it. Yeah. Say what you want, but it probably goes on like this for 1,000 kilometers at least. Or 1,000 miles for our American audience. And Canadian audience, obviously. Greetings to you guys. Oh, this looks fun again. Metigoshe. Metigoshe is fun. Wow, look at it from the air. Canada Creek. This is cool. Like here they finally made something out of all those ponds. And there's even a bear island, probably without bears, but if you put a bear there, it's the biggest bear on the island. So. And now we're crossing, it's getting greeny up here. It's getting greeny. And a small island right at the border. Love that. Yeah, I like it. Here it's getting greener. Gotta take a look. There's no street view here. Let's try it here. Yeah, there's so little going on. This looks nice. This looks nice. Looks like there is a lot of snow in the winter, but... Where are we? Let's skip. Let's skip it. And that's also pretty interesting. It's a US state that doesn't have a straight line as its state border. It's just going with the river. It's not happening very often. And now we're in the Red Lake Reservation in Minnesota. And this is where the straight line ends, almost. Yeah, just walk here. Just walk here. Here, another US exclave. They even bothered to cut down the trees here, even if you can't really do anything, I guess. But it could be the new Point Roberts. So maybe for the future. And here we've got a weird ass border right in the middle of the lake. It just makes a 90-degree turn and it goes back here. Back into no man's land where nobody ever lived or will live. That's just not so much going on here. Oh, and here they made an interesting thing here. It's just a river, but they tried to do a zigzag line, probably because they couldn't really decide who the thing belongs to. Boucher Island. There are so many islands with names, but nobody lives here. Here you can have a nice stay at the Guide Shack, cabin rental agency, in the middle of nowhere, probably a private island here. Nice to buy an island here. I would buy this one. This might be just $1, I guess. I hope. Or else I can't afford it. Oh man. And here you get in the populous country, Sandra Island South, fishing camp, Sportsman Oak Island Lounge. Here you live the good life. And as you can see, that's probably also of the continental border, the northernmost point this year. Yeah, northernmost point in contiguous US. Yeah, and so that means it can only get more southern. Another Bear Island. They really were creative with Bear Islands. Here you have a really weird border, and I think they didn't bother to cut down the trees here. Let's take a look at this. Oh, and here you can see the coast belongs to the US, but right if you cross into the river, it's all Canadian again. Except if you're here, Rainy River. Yeah, now it follows. Oh, this point is called Border, this place. Also, pretty creative name. Wow, Border. I like that. And we have a Border Evangelical Free Church. So yeah, here the border follows a river, which I think is nice. Well, I know at the beginning I said it was nice if it's just a straight line, but now I think river borders are much more exciting. Yeah, and oh, this island is divided actually, and they didn't cut down the trees. Maybe there's gonna be a war between Canada and US about that island. Who knows? And now another tiny rock island. Now we're getting here. Now we're getting somewhere. International Falls. Well, it's international. It's right at border and France. Maybe they speak French here in Canada. At this place, La Place Rendezvous. Wow, so romantic. It's so romantic. Yeah, and many islands again, many islands. And I love that you can just like take a boat and cross all these lakes. Oh, except for this point. Here's a water power institute. Oh my god. Oh, this border is pretty long and empty, but it's also cool. I mean, here's an international boundary marker right at the island. Where do you have that? Not so often, I gotta say. An 11-day use area. You can only use this for 11 days or what? And now it's getting interesting. Gull Island. Now we're almost on open waters here. Yeah. We're getting somewhere, guys. So now it starts to make sense. Like, it's always following a river. And now this river is getting really tiny, miny moo. And it's going there. Where are we even? Oh, not even close here. Let's go. This all goes on like that for a while. Clark Island. Rose Lake. Here it follows a river again. And finally, with a little time skip, we're getting somewhere. We're getting here at one of the Great Lakes. And we have a nice island here. Do people live here in Windigo? Oops. No. Oh, yeah. You can live here. It's great. It's great. Just a small island. And it's going on. They just went through that. And here's Sainte-Stermerie. Do they really speak French here? And that's actually a bridge. International bridge and a big water power thing, whatever. It's cool. And yeah, we'll see about that. Wow, that's just so much water here. This is probably all from the Ice Age, I guess. Sarnia. Oh, and here we're getting to, maybe it's the biggest town here, one of the biggest. Detroit, right at the border, and Windsor is pretty much a part of Detroit. I know, it sounds crazy, but I think so, because it's pretty much one town. At least if you're allowed to cross the border. Wow, it looks cool. I didn't know Detroit has such a nice island. With such a nice memorial and everything, and a sunset point. Everything you could ask for right at the border. And a casino. Wait, it's legal here? Okay. Okay, so yeah, and this goes on like that for a while. And crossing the big lake again. Nothing like Erie. It's pretty eerie, the Lake Erie. And here we have Buffalo, which is probably just the reverse Detroit. Here the big thing is on the Canadian side, and the Peace Bridge connects it to this tiny thing, tiny town. The Peace Bridge, yeah, I know it's a Peace Bridge. There's not really war. And we're at Niagara Falls. Wow, I knew it was like just in between US and Canada, but here you can really see it. Gold Island is Canadian and Horseshoe. Oh no, wait. Gold Island is American. Here it really gets, because of all these turns, it gets really, really confusing, the border. But yeah, Niagara Falls. We have to take a look here. Wow. It's just here you think, oh, okay, nice river. It ends? The river just ends? And the water falls down? Oh my god, I want to be that bird flying. Or I want to take a boat and drive down there. This would be cool. I wonder if anyone has ever tried this. And we also have here Niagara River Rock. Cool. Earn. Isn't it like Detroit accent? I heard about that. Niagara on the lake. And here's the lake we're talking about. It's pretty big. Again. Wow. And we're just going at some 1,000 islands. That's so true. It's really 1,000 islands. And here's not a bear island, but a honeybee island. So the bear is probably waiting for going on that island. Because, you know, bears love honey. Wow. Oh, we were almost finished. Wait, not really, but after Niagara Falls, you're almost, you were almost at the end of the border. So many islands. Just a paradise for everyone who loves islands. And here you have basically a Canadian exclave. But while everyone is keeping talking about Point Roberts, Akwesasne, I didn't really heard about that. But it's the same thing. You have the border, but here it runs through houses. And yeah, you can only reach it by boat from Canada. Or you can take a long drive and get here from the US. Maybe no one talks about Aquasasne because here it's probably the same thing. Like this whole thing is Canadian. So maybe it's just overlooked by the fact that there's so much Canadian territory here. But actually, this Aquasasne was a practical exclave. It's nice here in Doria. Not Korea, but Doria. Yeah, just look at the nature. Nice for a little biking trip, or hiking trip, or psychic trip, whatever you want. But maybe not all at the same time. What is this? What's that? Right at the border? Did they want to dig a tunnel to the US, the Canadians? I don't know. Fort Montgomery. Mm-hmm. Wow. Didn't knew about this big lake here. Big river between Vermont and New York. But doesn't really play a big role in geopolitics, I guess. Oh my god. Such an amazing narrator, right? What is this? This is not a border here. What did they decide to cut those trees down? I don't know. Yeah, now it's just following a straight line. Through woods, through everything, through border patrols, through rivers, through air, through earth. Yeah. And here we have the Ile Provence. Oh, and I love that the Americans cut the tree down on this part. Like they said, no, this 10 meters of island, this is ours. And it even has its own name, Province Island. No doubts about that. And here's Ile de la Provence, Ile de la Province. So it seems here the Canadians, they speak French. Here's the Ile Tablé à thé. You can have a tea table. Wow, and there's even a house on it. Wow. It's cool to live here. It's really a dream of mine. But you need a boat. If you don't have one, you have a problem. And if you cross this border, you have a problem too. So if you live here, that's the forbidden forest in Province Island. Why? US, just why? Why are you so stubborn? Here the road just ends at the border. And biplane. Wow, that's nice. Vermont, it's always autumn. You can really see that. I think Google has put the autumn pictures here because it's kind of like a cliche, but it's nice. I can get a feeling for Vermont like that. Just crossing forests again, the border. And they were really, really strict about cutting those trees down. And everyone has to do it probably once in their life. If you're an American soldier, you've probably been to the Canadian-US border cutting a tree down. Well, I know nothing about it, but that's how I imagine it. Because it's really a lot of trees. You need a lot of personnel to cut down all these trees. And yeah, they didn't cut it here. I wonder why. Hereford, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and here. Okay, when I said we were almost finished, I forgot that here the border is taking a huge turn. And it seems to be following a river. Oh, and here it really follows a river. And you can see it's all messed up because the river now flows differently than back when they draw the border. Which is a thing that happens a lot in Europe, so you can actually see that they drew the borders maybe earlier than the other borders in the West, where they just like went for straight lines, which was the trend at that time, like in Africa. You know, there are also many straight lines there. So this was pretty much the fashion at the time. And here you can see they were open for a more organical approach, but that didn't really work out, I think. Fort Kent. Wow. Maine. I wonder where all the lobsters are. Probably not in this river. Saint-Léonard. Saint-Léonard Parent. Bellafleur Station. I like it. Here also all the towns, they have like names of people. Martin Siding, Saint-André, McManus Sliding, Saint-Léonard Parent, Saint-Amand. Yeah, probably the people who maybe made those places, founded them. And here's the border, but here's pretty random. Why didn't they just follow the river anymore? I don't know. And here I have the feeling that this border where all the trees are cut down gets bigger. Ah, okay, maybe this is the road I was talking about earlier. Or maybe not, because it's not really divided. Wow. It's no, it's just a straight line again. Well, at least you have some kind of one time it's this, one time it's that. Also, vast nothingness here. And here, for some reason, because here is a river starting at the Monument 1. Yeah, here the border goes back to following this little chunk of water for a while. Here the chunk of water gets bigger. Here the chunk of water gets smaller. Here we have some weird lines in the ground. I wonder why. Because of aliens? And here, what's that? Oh, there's a power line going over that. But not a street or anything. And you're in the middle of the lake. Another big lake between the US and Canada. Oh my god. They really need a navy just for patrolling the border to Canada, right? That's Patterson Point. You can camp while looking at the US. It's cool. And again. Well, they made this border more complicated than I thought it would be. I thought it's just a straight line, to be honest. But Sainte-Croix is still stunning to this day. If you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. I've never been there, but I think I know what I'm talking about. Sainte-Croix River Islands. Grassy islands. Like, is that something new? Grassy islands? River islands? We've seen that so many times. Again, a big lake here. Big crossing. Big power. Doop doop boop doop 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 doo. Doop 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 doo. Yeah, and what do you guys think of this border? You can like, subscribe, and comment. Especially commenting is cool because I want to know what you think about this amazing experience, and amazing adventure which we're doing here. Yeah. Oh, we're almost finished. Oh my god. Here you can really see the river gets broader and broader and broader. Sainte-Croix Island, everything here is named Sainte-Croix. And then here's Canada, here's the US. And slowly but surely, we have another border bridge. We'll cross into open waters. And here, the border is over. Wow. And everything here belongs to Canada, I think. Yeah, this is New Brunswick here, Grand Man. While this is also Canada. Gannett Rock Lighthouse, is it also Canadian? Yeah. And here, this little part, this little chunk of land, Mashia Seal Island. Oh, you don't know if it's. Oh, Canada and the US both claim the island. Huh. Because of a weird exemption in the Treaty of Paris. That's interesting. So the guy who lives here and the houses who are built there, which country do they belong to? I don't know. Is it Canadian? Is it American? I think this is the final mystery and probably the most dangerous geopolitical dispute between these two countries. So, interesting. What do you think? Who does this rightfully belong to? No, I don't want to start any comment war. And here's Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. Well, that's it, guys. We've crossed the whole border between the US and Canada, between the United States of America and the Canadian Republic, with a British monarch at the head of the state. So this was pretty interesting. I've learned that this border is very empty and very much a straight line, and that there many trees had to die because of that border. But I also learned it's quite diverse. You have big mountains here, some grasslands, some mountain lands, some lakes, many islands, much water. Then you have some Vermont flair here with autumn-styled trees and Niagara Falls and some casinos. Yeah, I like it. This was fun. And if you have any suggestions what could be the next place I'm looking at, then feel free to comment and tell me what you think of this crazy border here. It was fun. It was an adventure. See you on the next journey, guys. This was Maplyph, and I hope you have a great day.